How's it going? Whoa, loud mic here. Cool, so I'm Adam from PeopleGrove. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the problem we're working on, what we believe to be the solution, and the traction we're seeing in the market. So first things first, this is obviously a huge problem. If you've ever read a recent Gallup report on how students value their education, there's a problem. Many alumni feel that their education was not worth the cost. Good question, why? What's changed? In our mind, there's a couple of things. One, content is more accessible than ever. If you want to learn how to be an engineer, go to Coursera or Khan Academy. But two, students have new expectations. They're not just looking for degrees. They want to see job outcomes. They're not looking for a learning experience that's isolated and static, but rather something that's social and digital, involves learning communities. And altogether, they're also looking for learning that's not theoretical alone, but also experiential. With that being said, there are some things we've seen that haven't changed. And that is the support network that helps you learn is absolutely critical. In fact, we believe this is one of a university's greatest assets. We also believe it's one of the most underutilized assets. In that same report that I'm highlighting, these sorts of supportive relationships doubled your perception that your education was worth the cost. So with all that being said, why does this matter? This probably isn't new to you. 1 in 3 students are dropping out. 50% of students that become alumni are not even giving back anymore, which is a huge driver of a university's model. And then lastly, corporate, who are taking in these students, tell you that they're not prepared. So that just gives you some context for the problem that we're working on. There's a lot there, but here's some things that we believe that led us to our solution. That one, the demands of what employers want and expect are changing rapidly, and two, mentors can play a crucial role in bridging the gap between college and careers. And lastly, again, that they're not utilizing this asset. So this leads you to PeopleGrove. That's our company. It's all about connecting students and professionals with the mentors, the advisors, the resources they need to be successful. Think social capital. All of those connections within a community that can help a student go from here to here by way of a couple connections. And so to give you an idea of how schools are using our software, it starts as early as when a student gets accepted. And schools have found that not everyone's enrolling. Well, a great intervention method is let mini Adam talk to future Adam and hear why he chose that school. Thereafter, that student becomes an enrolled student. Similarly, there's tons of other challenges that now happen. Socially, personally, academically. How can we put that student around peers and advisors that help them stay in school and succeed? And lastly, an area where we've gotten the most traction to date has been helping a student actually explore new career paths by talking to alumni and mentors that are actually working there. And then the last piece is the student can now pay it forward as a successful alum. So this gives you a little bit of idea of both our value proposition and business model. Career centers have worked with us to bridge the gap between students and alumni to discover new opportunities. Alumni offices are thinking about how to engage alumni in ways other than, hey, can you give us some money? And then in turn, these other offices, and this speaks to our business model, how we've been able to land and expand. So here's kind of our traction to date in terms of what our company's been up to. Candidly, we were very lucky. The team at Stanford was one of our first partners. Thank you, Farouk, who just walked in, and helped us to really build this first platform. In turn, we've been able to now attract schools that frankly have big problems. Tons of students at Kansas State, UMUC, which is a nonprofit online, Rutgers, and so forth. And we're seeing it's working. These connections are making a huge difference for students and for alumni. This was an NPS survey that we did, and was really interesting to me is of alumni that have had more than one connection, You can see it, they have an NPS of 75, students 46. This is our first year out as a product, so we've been excited by this. But then also we asked, how has it impacted you in other ways? Did your mentor let you access his or her social capital? So that's where you can really accelerate your trajectory. How did it impact your perception of the cost of your education? And this hasn't been unique to Stanford. We see the same results at UMUC, which has a very different student population. 50% or more from underserved communities, they're non-traditional students, and the impact is maybe even more significant. Students are valuing these connections as critical to their sense of self-efficacy, and alumni are now far more likely to refer UMUC as a school by virtue of the programming that comes with this platform. I always like to tell real stories. This one I think is particularly awesome. I was overwhelmed with how helpful one conversation with my mentor could be. I was able to discover a new field of study that I was unaware even existed. The same student went from Bed Bath & Beyond to a role in cybersecurity. I mean, that's what makes us work hard. With that, we've started with higher education in terms of our market opportunity and really focus our efforts there, but have seen that this journey from student to successful alum is very similar to an employee's journey, and in turn have some existing pilots in the corporate world focused on new hire, onboarding, sales training, and success. This is our team. I met Riley when we were interns at Credit Suisse. We then worked out of a trailer park for some time, so we've gone through it all together. And we're looking to really diversify our team. A new student from Ghana is joining our team, another girl who's a first-generation student, and that's important to us as we expand our thinking. And we're backed by these great individuals here. If you're interested in learning more, we're doing a demo at 3 p.m. We're looking to hopefully close the seed round real soon. So happy to tell you more about our revenue, our product, and anything else. That's the highlight of my life. We got bobbleheads made out of our heads. And yeah, send me a note if you're interested in learning more. Thank you.